What's up, guys and gals? It's your girl, Miss Tina610, back to do a review of Fantasia for Real, the second episode from the second season. Y'all stay tuned. I'll be right back. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna take these glasses off now. I still got my makeup on, and it looks kind of horrendous right about now, but that's neither here nor there because we are here today to discuss Fantasia for Real, this second episode here. So it looks like I'm still doing the same thing, like I'm in the same spot. Not the same shirt, but that's neither here nor there. This episode, I took a whole bunch of notes because I was so afraid that I was going to miss something. But let's get into what we came to discuss today. So, when the episode first starts, so I got my notes again. I got plenty notes for y'all. Okay, so anyway, when the episode first starts, they start off with a recap of last week's episode. Just kind of like a dry run through of last week's episode. Okay, so then when the episode finally starts, they are sightseeing in London and they're on a tour bus and talking about this, that, and the other. And Fantasia's talking about, oh, I love the British people, I love their accent, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and then the tour lady is talking to them, and Brian and all of his Negroidianness, shout out to Wendy Williams, and all of his Negroidianness hollers out some, well, do you think we can go on another route other than the standard sightseeing route? And do you think we can go to the ghettos? That look right there was for you, Brian, for hollering out some old Negroidian crap like that. I mentioned too, Fantasia walking in them looked like they was like some suede red pumps. Honey, you better work. You better work, heifer. And then the Ferris wheel rigmarole. They get on the Ferris wheel, and it's not really like a Ferris wheel. It's more like a sightseeing type of thing, and it's like it looks like a Ferris wheel, but it's like this bubble, and you get in there and you can take pictures and you can see Big Ben and you can see all this other like landmarks or whatever all over London from this Ferris wheel. So they get on there and folks get to acting crazy, and it's just a whole bunch. Then they go into the recap of the concert, and Fantasia is talking about how excited she was that the fans knew her, and she was really, really excited and pumped that they knew the song Even Angels. So of course she immediately decides that Even Angels needs to be the first single. Now remember last season she was talking about how Move On Me needed to be the first single because she felt it and she liked performing the record and so on and so forth. So she goes over to London, she performs Even Angels, and the entire crowd from last episode, the entire crowd knew the song, and she was just so hyped, and she was crying, and it was emotional, and it was just like, yes, give us Even Angels. She's in a meeting with Keith, Natalie, we'll just call him Natalie. She's in a meeting with Keith, who is the A&R person from J Records, and he comes to tell her that, and this is in New York, I don't know if that matters, but anyway, he comes to tell her that the record label has decided on a first single, and so he's like, so we've decided that the first single should be, and she hollers out Even Angels, and he was like, no, that ain't what we was thinking. We was thinking more along the lines of Bittersweet, because it's just this, and it's just that, and he gives all these reasons, and her face looks like she didn't sing the record. Do you understand what I'm saying? She got this face like, who sings that song? So then he cuts the song on and starts going through with her, and she's looking like she's really not feeling it, and then he's all into it, and he's like, when I think, he's like doing the mouth of the When I Think About You part, like the real high When I Think About. Okay, and side note, didn't nobody ever tell y'all I was a singer, so when I just did what I just did, don't. We come back to North Carolina. She's at the house, and she's talking about the relationship thing, you know, from the beginning scene or whatever. She's talking about the relationship thing, and she runs down the stairs, okay, in this, like, dress, honey. It's, like, fitted, right? It's, like, fitted, and it's blue, and it's very, very cute, but it's kind of short, or what I mean, something I wouldn't personally, or probably you wouldn't be lounging around the house in. You know what I'm saying? When you watch it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So she runs, and she opens the door for the therapist, Dr. Tart, with 2 T's on the end, boo, Tart, okay, and very handsome man. She starts talking to the therapist, and she starts talking about how everybody, her mom and Aunt Bunny, everybody's getting on her and wants her to date, and blah, 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 and she doesn't feel ready, and then she spills the tea on Antoine Cook. I got his name right this week, too, didn't it, help her? Yes. Anyway, she starts spilling the tea about Antoine Cook, and she starts talking about how about how she met this guy, but he's separated, and he's really, really sweet, and blah, 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 blah. Been in so many relationships, and she's been hurt, and she's been in love before, but he is the first guy that's ever really made her feel special or whatever. Just because he tells her that she's beautiful. I mean, now, okay, let's just say that there's a certain point in life where you get to a certain point in life where you're just like, okay, that's nice and all, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad you think I'm attractive, but eventually you just have to cut that out. You have to find the middleman and cut him out. Okay, but what are you trying to get to? Okay, because clearly you're still married, clearly. And separated does not mean divorced. Separated does not equal divorce. It talks about him being separated and about how he's like this bomb.com guy, which clearly we know he's not. And which he might be. Let me not be biased. He might be to her. But the point that you're married and you got chilling and you was kicking it with this chick and you not telling her the truth, which eventually comes out, you know, whatever. Okay, so she talks about him, and she what she said was that he pumps her self-esteem. So whatever, honey. Ain't nobody looking for no Antoine Cook, boo. Okay, why you running around with his name tattooed on you? And you knew he was separated? Okay. So she feels like she can't trust him, which, I mean, obviously, nobody can. Okay, nobody can. Okay, so anyway, so she told the therapist that she would, you know, try moving forward and, you know, try dating and blah, blah, blah. Fantasia is talking to Aunt Bunny, and she brings up the idea of going speed dating. So, you know, then they get to the point, you know, they talk about it or whatever, and Aunt Bunny really doesn't want to date. She does, but she doesn't want to date. So then they get to the part where Aunt Bunny shows up at Fantasia's house. I believe it was like 7:30. She shows up at Fantasia's house. Fantasia's not dressed. Her hair's not done. She ain't brushed her teeth. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? She's just there. Or she's just there. So then they, you know, do the elapse of time. So it's like 8 o'clock, no Fantasia. 8:30, no Fantasia. 9 o'clock, no Fantasia. Barely. It's like 9:30, I suppose. I think it was. That Fantasia gets herself together and comes out the house, and then she's still talking about how she ain't even brushed her teeth and she didn't go get her nails done. Okay, so while they're on the way to the speed dating place, now remind you, this was Fantasia's freaking idea. Okay, so boo, you should have been ready before the cameraman got there. You understand what I'm saying? So they're driving in the car, and Fantasia's mom calls, and Fantasia's talking to her mama like, yeah, I'm going to just go down here with Aunt Bunny, you know, because she's kind of nervous or whatever. And I'm just going to... So Aunt Bunny is like flipping out, boo. Aunt Bunny is like, oh, I know this heifer didn't try to put me on blast. Oh, wait till she get off that phone. Oh, I'm going to get that little heifer a piece of my mind. You can tell that's what Aunt Bunny was thinking. You know what I'm saying? So when Fantasia gets off the phone with her mom, Aunt Bunny's like, hold up now. Okay, hold the telephone. I'm a grown woman. I don't need you to go nowhere with me, honey. And I'm not scared to do nothing. I'm a grown woman. And don't you ever tell your mama nothing like, I mean, she just like goes for the kill. She was just all on her. So anyway, Fantasia's like, what? I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. I ain't, buddy, it wasn't even like that, buddy. You know, so they went for the, so anyway, Aunt Bunny was like, Fantasia, just don't say nothing to me. Don't say nothing to me. And so then she's like, well, why don't you just stop the car? I'm just get out the car. Okay, boo, y'all on the interstate by exit 60 something. Where's she going? Where? With the strong W. Where's you going? Okay, so anyway, so she lets Aunt Bunny out the car. Aunt Bunny gets to where she's going, and then they show Aunt Bunny with her flat shoes on. Walking into the place, because Aunt Bunny realizes once she gets to where she's going, oh my God, I left my heels in the car. So now I got on my cute outfit, which really, okay. So I got my cute outfit on, and I done left my heels in that girl car. So she in the place with her flat shoes on. So she gets into the place, and she sits down, and the lady's giving the rules for the speed dating, and nobody goes by Aunt Bunny's table. Aunt Bunny said when she, you know, once she woo-sawed and rubbed her ears, I mean, that ain't what she said, but more than likely, you know, when she got situated, then she said the men began to, you know, come to the table or whatever. And so she meets all these men. Oh my God, y'all. Oh my God, you are going to crack up when you see this part, okay? Because this one man came over and he was like, I see you, and all he said was, I mean, dang, if you scared to meet people, why is you on speed dating? You must have thought that you can get a whole bunch of dates and qualify that as a long, you know, attempt of dating, and it really ain't, because you can't even say nothing but Then she meets this other guy, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna just cut straight to the chase. You got any chilling? And she was like, yes. Does that scare you? And he was like, uh-huh. A mess. She meets this other guy named Jason, who she said she felt like she had a little connection with or whatever. So he invited her out on a second date. So they're supposed to go on a second date. Now Bunny was like, I don't know what they're supposed to be or whatever, but we gonna see what happens. So then Bunny sits down with Fantasia, and she discusses with Fantasia the whole ordeal about, you know, her having to jump out the car and Fantasia making her look like a punk, you know what I'm saying, a punk. And you know, they can get over that or whatever. And then Bunny's like, well, since we here, you know what I'm saying, let me go ahead and discuss with you our prior conversation, which would be when Fantasia's mom and Aunt Bunny came and was hitting her up about this information about Antoine Cook or whatever. And she was like, look, I know I said some things in that conversation that may have hurt you, blah, 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 blah. She said, but you have to remember that I'm just doing this out of love because I love you and trying to, you know, help you out or whatever. So they, you know, they hugged it out. You know what I'm saying? They hugged it out. And so that was a beautiful thing. But let me not forget this part. I'm sorry. I'm out of order, y'all. Before she sat down with Fantasia, doggone, she called Tina. Now, who calls Tina when they got a issue? Where they do that at? So anyway, she calls Tina, and Tina's sweeping the porch, okay, talking about some, man, y'all just need to go on and, you know what I'm saying, do y'all therapeutic shopping or whatever, and just go on and hug it out. Thank you, Tina, for those words of knowledge, honey. So the final thing that happened is that Fantasia was supposed to sit down and have a telephone conference call with her record label, and a lady named Carolyn called, and Fantasia's big thing about Bittersweet being a single was that she was hoping that they would use like her ideas for the video. And so when the lady called, she was able to tell the woman what it was that she wanted to see, her vision for the video. And so the lady was like, that's exactly what I was thinking. You know, they went through exactly what you see in the Bittersweet video. Those were Fantasia's ideas. And Fantasia was saying because she wanted her, you know, she had gone so long with her career being in other people's hands, that she wanted a chance to showcase, you know, she wanted it to be her thing this time around. I think that that is completely awesome. But make sure that you watch next episode, honey, because they're going to be filming the video, which will be her first video in 3 years. And then they are going to get into Teeny, honey, having some butt-naked car wash, honey. I felt so disrespected. Honey, now I would never even qualify for a butt-naked car wash because ain't nothing of me to be looking at. But let me tell you, I felt disrespected. Them girls on there, they must have knew the cameras was out, but they ain't gonna pay you, okay? They might take you to lunch. You might get a little free lunch for being on VH1, but now your boo twanks is all over the camera. But that's neither here nor there. So make sure y'all tune in. Catch me next week doing my review of the 3rd episode of the 2nd season of Fantasia for Real. Hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Mainly comment. You don't even have to subscribe or rate, really. But if you comment, then we can laugh amongst ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, it's your girl, Miss Dina 610. Hope you enjoyed the review. I will talk to you guys and gals later. Peace and peace. Bye.